to explain everything you need to know about the next cycle for PowerFit. It is called Jacked AF. I'm assuming you know what AF stands for. It's not jacked as firm, although it sounds pretty cool. As always, there's going to be a folder. It's going to have your name up in the corner, and it's going to have all your papers you need to know inside of it, and we'll go over that here in a few minutes. So when you come into class every day, make sure you sign up for that class. Grab your folder out of the folder holder, and then your warm-up, everything will be on the board over on the wall. All right? All right, so every day you're going to have a part A, B, C, and D. We're going to kind of go over each part. Inside your folder will be what you track part A, B, C, and D on, so that way we can progress every week. So in your folder, you will find sheets like so. On all the sheets, it'll have your max for you to use when you do the percents, and then the tracking. So when you are on, let's say the squat day, part A is going to be on the 2 minutes times 5 sets. Every 2 minutes, you're going to do 5 squats, back squats, and you're going to add weight each set, okay? Your very first set is going to start at 65%. So this person who does 460 for their 1 rep max back squat has already wrote in on week 1 for their first set of 5 that they're going to be doing 300 pounds. That's 65%, okay? On that first 2 minutes, you're going to do 5 reps. You're going to knock out those 5 reps, and then you're going to decide how much weight you want to add to your second set. Our goal is to work up to a heavy set of 5. All right, so this person has done 300 pounds. So what I would probably do after I knock out 5 on that, I would jump to about 335. So I'd write that down if I got it as my second set, which you should get it. Then you rest the rest of that 2 minutes, and you put down what you want to do on your second set, probably 355. So I do the 355. If I get it for 5 reps, I write that down. Then I decide what I want to do for my fourth set of 5 reps. Let's say 375. And I write that down, and I do that for 5 reps. Then I rest the rest of that 2 minutes. Then on our very last set of 5, we are going to pick what we want to do. We're just going to say 405. We're going to go for 5 reps on 405 at that last set. Boom. Goal is to get it for 5 reps. That will be our heaviest 5 reps for the day. That will set us up for week number 2 that we can build off of each set once we get there, okay? Each day, this is back squat day, when you have day 2 on push press, you'll have your max and the same thing. On day 3 on your deadlift, you'll have your max, same setup. And then day 4 on your bench press, you'll have your max, same setup. That should take you about 10 minutes to finish, because your warm-up will lead you right into this. So you shouldn't have any extra warm-up after the warm-up. You should be able to jump right to this part. So including the warm-up and this, probably take you about 20 minutes to get this and the warm-up done, and then be able to move on to part B, which is coming up next. Okay. After part A, you will move on to part B, which is going to be our secondary jacked set. There'll always be 4 sets, no matter what day it is. We're going to always have some kind of opposite movement of whatever our main movement of the day is. So with squats, we're always going to have an explosive jump, working on our hips, hamstrings, butt, trying to make it fast and explosive. So for our squat day, we're going to have 3 seated box jumps. And then our secondary movement to our squat, we're going to do front squats to work the quads. And then we're always going to have some kind of core movement, and then some kind of lungs, sweating, breathe hard movement. And then we're going to rest a minute 30. The jack set is meant to be very hard. You should be pushing yourself here, and you should be pushing the weights, trying to get very heavy. So we're going to add weights each set, and you could possibly add height to your box jump each set if you're doing good with it, or if you're comfortable with it. But the front squats should definitely start somewhere. It is basically like our strength set. We're going to have 4 sets though, and you're going to add weight each time you come back to that front squat. So during your minute 30 rest, you need to add weight to your front squat. If you can add weight to your Russian kettlebell swings, add weight to that as well. If not, stay there. Most important is the front squat needs to be up, add weight every set, working up the wet way. Our fourth set is our very heaviest set. Inside your folder, you're gonna have a secondary jack set movements where you're gonna keep track of everything. So, as for today, our secondary movement is front squats. That's the one you definitely wanna keep track of. So on week 1, you're gonna write front squats and what weights you used, okay? So I know it's small, but try to fit it in there. You're gonna have 4 different weights. You can write in the box with 4 different movements. So first set, second set, third set, fourth set. That's the most important one to record. If you wanna record your box jump height or your Russian kettlebell swing weight, just write it on the back, okay? But these are the most important ones to remember because we will come back to them and your goal will be to beat those weights, okay? So that is the jack set. For our third thing, letter C, we are gonna have assistance work. This is meant to burn out the muscle, get that pump, get that blood flow, help with recovery, bring up those lacking weak muscles. Usually it's gonna be something that's kind of light. I mean, it might say go heavy, but it means go heavy as you can, but still be unbroken. Sometimes it's gonna look like a CrossFit workout, but it's gonna always be geared towards whatever that main movement was today. So since we're working on squat, and we're talking about squat, our assistance for the first day of squat is gonna be 4 rounds. We're gonna do 12 barbell step-ups, 12 straight leg deadlifts, and then I wrote, I want you to go heavy, but unbroken. So the goal would be to be as heavy as you can, but keep it unbroken and make it burn. Part D of our program is gonna be an optional cardio. It's not gonna be on every day. It is 3 days a week out of the 4. If you do the 5th day, it also has one. But as far as the 4 strength days, there are only 3 optional cardio days. With those, they're gonna vary on what they are. For the squat day on Monday, we have a Tabata bike for cows. And on this one, you're gonna work for 20 seconds and rest for 10 seconds. And you're gonna continue to do that until you reach 100 calories, okay? Your goal here is to do this if you feel good after all the other stuff. You wanna put most of your effort in part A, part B, and part C. If you still feel pretty good and you wanna do a little extra and you have time, then you can do this. If you're feeling beat up, especially the first couple weeks, and you just don't feel like doing that extra cardio, because I promise you that jack set and your assistance work is gonna be some cardio. If you don't feel like doing this, then don't do it. It's optional, okay? Over the weeks, if you get better and feel better and your conditioning and your work capacity gets a little better, add it in. Or if you just see one that you like, you can add it in. When we do these, your goal is to go as hard as possible. If you are one of the people that don't want to lose their conditioning that they've built up through CrossFit, this is where you're going to maintain it. And this is going to be in a style that's not going to harm your strength. Because our goal with this program is to still build strength and get really, really strong, but it's set up to help lean you out and build some muscle. Okay, so usually everybody asks how long this is going to take. Your first couple weeks, it's probably going to take a little longer, especially if you're new at this. Just trying to figure out how you want to work, figuring out the movements, getting everything organized. But after you get going, you will get a little quicker. I ran through each of these days this week to kind of see how long they take, and it only took me 48 minutes to run through it. So they're without doing the optional cardio. So with the optional cardio, it's probably going to take you about an hour or 5. Okay, so you can get this done in the same length as a regular class. And you don't have to rush. I didn't rush. I just went through it like normal, and I followed it to a T, rested when I was supposed to, went on the minute when I was supposed to, on the 2 minutes when I was supposed to, however it said, and I was done in 48 minutes. Okay? Now, if you're standing around, looking at your phone, taking your time between A, B, and C, and D, then it's going to take you a lot longer. But if you do A, which is only going to take you 10 minutes, so A takes 10 minutes, and that's right after the warm-up, which takes at least 10 minutes, maybe a little less, especially if you just get in and get going on your warm-up. So let's say the warm-up takes 10 minutes, which I don't think it did, and I did the exact warm-ups I posted over there. Your warm-up leads you right into your heavy for the day. So your heavy starts at 65%. Your warm-up will lead you right into that, so you can just go and start right away at part A, which will then take you 10 minutes. when you finish part A, if you don't have to rush, you put your stuff away from part A, get your part B set up, which is how I did it. I didn't rush through it. I didn't leave everything out. I took my time, put it away because I really wanted to see how long this would take. Put it away and then get started on part B, which takes roughly 15 minutes, okay? Some of the days will probably be a little faster depending on what movements we're doing and things like that. With part B taking 15 minutes, again, you're gonna be changing your weights out during your rest, so it's not gonna take any longer. Same thing though, during your rest breaks, get your stuff set up, get ready, write down what you need to do. As soon as that rest break is over, get started again, okay? Don't make your rest break extend any longer and all that stuff. Try to just keep moving. After part B, you'll move on to part C, which is the assistance. It roughly will be about 12 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, sometimes faster. It will never go much longer than 12 minutes. So we're gonna say for the long haul, it's 12 minutes, okay? Same thing, I didn't rush to get that set up. I just got it set up, kind of mess around, did that, so forth. Okay, so that's right there is 25 plus 12, that's 37 minutes, okay? Plus the warm-up, which equals 47 minutes. Now, if you, like I said, if you add in your setup between here and here, it's probably gonna take you almost exactly an hour without doing part D, okay? So not that long at all. Especially if you make sure you check the YouTube videos to see what the movements are beforehand and you know what movements you're supposed to be doing and you don't have to stand around and try to figure that out beforehand, okay? If you decide to put part D in there, part D always runs around 12-ish minutes. Some days will go a little longer. So at the longest, if you're doing part D, you're gonna be in for about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes, okay? Not that long. You'll have to go over a little bit if you can. If not, that's when you will want to leave out part D. The only one you want to leave out ever is part D. So if you only have an hour and you can't stay over and do any cardio, then make sure you only get in part A, B, and C and skip the D, okay? You can make up the cardio day on a different day whenever you have more time, okay? You won't lose the cardio, I promise. B and C will take care of that for the most part. So the last thing before we go, make sure you read the board. Stuff changes, stuff stays the same every week, it depends, but still check it every day, no matter if you think it changes or no matter if you think it stays the same. Read it, check it. If I'm not here, I may not be able to catch you if you're doing something wrong. You don't wanna do the wrong movement and then the next week when we're adding weights to it, you won't have the movement you need to be set up for it, and then you're just a week behind on that. So really pay attention to the writing on the board. Try to read over it. Don't skip anything. If there's words, read it. Don't assume you know what's going on. If you have a little bit of doubt on the movement, it's probably on the YouTube channel, okay? Those of you that are gonna be very new at this, on the YouTube channel, which is where you should have found this video, hopefully, all the movements that you may not know should be on this YouTube channel. Just look for the name. There's a big picture. It's white. It'll say the name. Let's say Landmine Rows, which is on this week sometime. You'll see the picture of it, click on it. It'll be a little clip of me doing the movement, showing you how I want it set up. Most of the time it's silent. Sometimes I'm talking on it. It's weird. Kind of like this is weird. But it'll show you what you need to do just in case I'm not there for you to ask. If we have a busy class, that also helps you be able to see what the movement is. That way, if I cannot come to you and help you and figure out what the movement might be, you can just run on there real quick, figure out what it is, and then get started right away. And then I can help you if I see that maybe you're doing it still a little bit wrong. But sometimes it's hard for me to stop and explain it to you if we have a huge class, okay? And that's another thing. Make sure you sign up for your class that you're coming to. That way you have equipment, a space, and you can still get some work done, okay? It's weird. Kind of like this is weird. Doing the video, so if I'm not here to explain how to do this, you can follow it on the video. With the optional cardio, it's probably gonna take you about a minute 5, or an hour 5, an hour 5. That class, grab your folder out of the folder holder. On your bench press, you'll have your max, same setup. Muscle. Lost my train of thought.